welcome back to another episode of Between Us Girlies. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Bailey.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Bran.
And hello, you guys. We are back at it again for another week. And we just had a live show.
Oh my God.
Sure did.
We did have a live show. And first off, shout out to all the girlies who attended the live show. Sent us really sweet DMs saying that they wish they could have been there. It was just really amazing to see all of you guys come out and celebrate with us. And I literally wrote this in my Instagram caption. It is crazy that there are people who like to listen to us.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
You know what's crazier is they're all hot. Like
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like when you go to concerts, they're like, you're the most beautiful crowd ever. And it's like, obviously they say that at every show, but genuinely we have like the hottest fans. Like I wrote that in my Instagram caption. I was like, the coolest, hottest girls in Philly love us.
I gotta give a shout out to my girl that looks like Serena. I'm so sorry I'm blanking on your first name, but she looks like Serena from Love Island so bad. And I loved that. I literally gassed her up the whole time, but it was so good. Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy because it's a live show, so I usually cut out my stutterings and everything in these type of podcasts, but I feel like I did good. I feel like I wasn't nervous, which is like amazing.
Yeah, honestly, you had that like one, you warned everybody that you were going to stutter, and then I feel like you didn't stutter
I
the
know.
rest of the time.
Which is wild. I think because I looked over, I was chugging my drink the entire time because I was also this thirsty, but then I like looked down the line, I'm like, oh, no one's been chugging, huh? Right.
I feel like we all did a really good job. Like genuinely, like nobody really like...
It felt, and everyone said that to us after, like it just like, it was like this, just with like an audience, like, and someone asked, they were like, how do you all stay so grounded? And we were just like, we've just been friends like before this happened, and like we'll be friends forever.
Yeah, I think it's also because like I enjoy sitting here with you guys. Like I don't see it as like the podcast sometimes. I'm like, oh, we're just catching up. Like I forget the cameras are rolling. I forget I'm speaking to the mic sometimes. But I feel like that also helped. Like I was like, okay, my girls are on stage. Like if it was just me up there doing a TED Talk, I feel like I would fail. But I feel like I was like surrounded by you guys. I'm like, we got this.
Yeah, it was cool too to like... I feel like when we started planning this, we had so many ideas, and to see it get like shaved down into what it was, and it all went successfully, and people loved our little parts. Like they loved this segment, they loved that, they loved this little detail, and it was like, oh, I remember when we thought of that or when we planned that, or like that was really cool for us to have all these ideas and like see them actually come to life.
Yeah, that's so true.
And we got to connect with like everyone. Like I loved that like we had like a little moment before the show and then after to like get to like actually like meet everybody, and I just feel like that's so special. Like whenever I go to a show, like I'm always like, oh, I hope we get to like meet them or something. So it was like, it was cool to be like, I knew what I would want out of it, and be able to like kind of give that to was like awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
So let's plan some more events, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm down.
A lot of people did ask. They said, what are we up to next?
Yeah, strip club.
Well, before we get into the rest of the episode, I do have a little surprise for you guys. So we're going to pass these down. This is Bailey. Don't open it yet. Bran, can you pass that over?
Take one down.
So this is just a little present. We all worked really hard on this live show, and I'm really proud of us, and I love you guys so much. So you can go ahead and open it.
Oh my goodness. Scared.
No.
We're going to Charlie XCX, bitches!
Really?
Yes!
You got us tickets?
Yes!
Casey!
Oh my god! No, I'm literally
can't stop
about to
screaming.
cry. Wait, the shirts are so cute.
For the listeners, she got us frat green shirts, and each of them say, mine says, I'm so Bailey. Everyone says, like, I'm so Lindsay, I'm so Brandon. I'm going to throw up.
Damn.
I'm so excited. I've been sitting on that for so long.
Since
What?
The last episode, we were...
I know, and it's so funny because you guys have been like saying little things like, oh, we should go to Charlie XCX, and Charlie XCX is in October. It's actually September 25th, so make sure you guys save it in your calendar.
Wow, perfect.
But I had to wait until I had I could absolutely 100% confirm. So we are going to Charlie XCX, and I am so fucking excited. It is going to be so fun. Something about the live show that I loved was just like celebrating our friendship, and people seem to like love that. So the idea of us going to a show and just like, have we ever been to a concert together first of all?
No, I don't think we
But
have.
we've never been to a concert. It is going to be so much fucking fun to hear that live.
That's insane.
And the best part is Troye Sivan is opening up. I love him.
Holy fuck.
So we're getting there at 8 a.m. Like
No,
we
we're
are going at
camping
8
out.
a.m.
Where is it? Wells Fargo?
It's at Wells Fargo.
Oh my god.
Oh my...
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna I literally...
No, I really just teared up a
This
little.
made my day. I got my period today, and this just made everything so much better. Thank you so much, Casey.
Oh my God, of course, guys.
I love surprises.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to do the Apple dance. That's like the main part I've been thinking of. Like, you know, that whole place is going to do it together, and I'm so excited. So
Wow, we need to figure out, like, I need to know what to, like, do with my face, my hair.
I know.
Like, I want
I need to
to.
get a like 40-inch weave. Like shit has to happen.
No, like,
I need to lose weight.
it's
Haley.
it's also so funny. So like Bailey said, for the listeners, I got them all t-shirts that say I'm so Brandon, I'm so Lindsay and stuff for I'm so Julia. And when me, Bran, and Lindsay were in New York for one of Brandon's events, Lindsay was like laying down in bed, and as she was falling asleep, she was like, I've never felt so Julia right now. And it was genuinely one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And I was debating so hard to put that on the shirt or the names.
I love that.
And I've been sitting on it for like 2 weeks, like asking everyone, I'm like, what should I put on the
Wow.
shirt? But I thought these were cute.
When we were
so.
yapping about that damn concert
I
last
know.
episode, that's crazy.
Wow.
This is insane.
Oh my god, I get. Oh my
I did
God.
not expect that.
Thank you, Casey.
Oh
You
my
get to
God,
hear
of
the guest
course.
remix in person.
What if Billie
What
Eilish
if
comes
Billie-
out?
she pulls
Stop.
out
Wait,
no.
that would be nuts.
Let me text her.
So if anyone's going to the show, let us know, because I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a girly central event. Like it is just going to be bad bitches there.
Oh, I want to be like Aaliyah Core for this. Like, I want to dress insane for this.
Yeah, like full bathing suit, like top,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
G-string.
Maybe like one of those like bedazzled thongs sticking out of my pants.
Wait,
like,
that's
that sounds
actually cute.
Yeah, that does sound really cute.
Wait, I want to do
But it
that.
did something.
Wow.
It will look better on
Okay, well now that we've got that out of the way, we can get
Yeah.
back to the regular episode.
Well, we're going to Charlie XCX. Our fans are hot, and it's football season.
Yeah,
How was everybody's
it is.
weekend?
It was good. So Friday, we got to go to a little event from my job. Who sponsored it?
A little of it.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
It was a gigantic event. They rented out all of Citizens Bank Park, which is the Philly stadium, because they had an away game. And damn, like, did we have a time? We got a tour, a self-guided tour of the Philly stadium. And I was joking around when like we were getting there. I'm like, ooh, let me into the locker room. Boy, did they let us into the locker room.
Yeah.
We got to see the Fanatics locker.
As soon as we walked into the locker room, Bailey asked the guy working, "Excuse me, which one's Brandon Marsh?"
Yep. And he was like, he's right over there. I felt like low-key a creep. I'm like, oh my God, I love him so much. I'm like, he's probably like, ma'am, like, keep it pushing. But like, for some reason, I couldn't help but think, like, walking through that locker room, because I've never been in the MLB locker room before. But I don't know why. It was after our live show, and I was like, oh, wow, I can't wait for, like, the girlies to have their own, like, stadium.
Like a stadium tour.
Yeah, like, seeing all of their murals on the wall, I'm like, I want that. Like, I want that. Why can't we?
I do too.
Yeah, just 4 of it. Like, 4 of us really rent out an apartment space. But I don't know, I just loved it. We had free food. I mean, it was nice.
No, you're not
Yeah.
explaining it correctly. Your company actually drawled in all the best way possible. They had Chicky and Pete's open, Manco and Manco's open. I'll let you take. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I ate.
No, well, I can't stop thinking about Manco Pizza. Bad. But what was that? I mean, they had all the concessions open, free, drinks free.
The best part about the food, I talked about this. We all went to this event together, and then I left to go watch the Eagles game somewhere else. So I went to a new group of people. I told them all about this, and I could not shut up about how the food was so well portioned.
Yes.
Because all of the food was free, and there was all these different concessions open. But you know, when you go to a Phillies game, the Chicky and Pete's fries is like a damn gallon bucket. It's huge. But these were like portioned just for you personally, which is like amazing because you could get that and more stuff. Like if you spend $20 on fries at a Phillies game, you're not really like, oh, let me go see what else I can buy because that was all your money.
Yeah.
But this was like perfectly portioned. I thought it was so cool. I loved that
I mean,
part.
perfectly portioned, yes, but here's my problem with this event. And again, shout out Bailey's company, won't blast them, but like, I want to work for you. Because I left with the most massive young bull stomach ache that I have ever had. Like, my stomach was screaming. I actually felt like, you know, when you're a little kid, for those who don't know what a young bull stomach ache is, it's when you're like a really little kid and you just overeat. I had a chicken cheesesteak, a plate of nachos, Chicky's fries with cheese dip, a hot dog that I covered in a bunch of stuff, a little ice cream hat with Jimmy's on top. I had a thing of Cracker Jacks. I had 5 statesides. Like, I'm still going. It's not. It hurt my tummy, but
I had the fries. I had the chicken tenders. I had a cheesesteak. We had a hot dog.
Yeah.
That ice cream was honestly
That
my
was some
favorite
good ice
part.
cream.
Oh, I love the ice cream in the helmet.
good.
It's crazy because every time I saw people walking by with different foods, I'm like, damn, I know I don't need it, but like, and it was nice because the bathrooms, I love going to Phillies games, but I hate going to the bathrooms there.
terrible.
But the fact that there was no one in that damn stadium, and I just went to the bathroom willy-nilly, I'm like, yes.
It was so beautiful too. It was like a gorgeous sunset
Yeah.
and like perfectly temperature. At one point we were getting a little cold, but it was like it couldn't have been like a better night.
We were like the last ones there.
Did you guys stay there to watch the Eagles game?
No.
Sorta. We watched like the first half there. And
Okay.
do we want to name drop where we go every weekend? I don't know. We're
Surprise!
gonna gatekeep. No, I feel like we should gatekeep.
Okay,
What?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. You just tell me after the
Okay,
podcast.
yeah.
We went to one of our favorite restaurants.
A familiar
Okay.
location.
The audience can use context clues.
Okay.
That was a very great spot to watch.
It's one of my favorite spots to watch a game, and we will not be disclosing it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I went to Evil Genius in Fishtown, which I've only ever been like one other time. Brandon and I went once, very randomly. We sat outside, so I've never been like inside to watch the game. And I don't typically watch games in Philly. I typically watch them all in Delaware, but this was like a Friday night game, so I just stayed here. So I watched it there, and I wasn't drinking, and I guess I was just so hyper aware, like, damn, people in Philly can drink. We were sitting right behind the bar. So like everyone who was buying a drink, they had it set up really weird. You had to go in like a single file line, and the cashier was right in front of me. I saw the same people come up and buy a drink, I swear to God, every 3 minutes. I literally was like, they are housing this. And I wasn't even saying it in like a judgy way. I was like, just like, damn, they can drink.
Yeah.
And it was just up and up. Every 10 seconds, I was like, do you guys even know the game's going on? So people there, I wouldn't suggest...
Xfinity.
I was gonna say, I know I've been there.
I wouldn't suggest going there to watch a game. It wasn't really my favorite place, but it was just like fine for the night. But damn,
What's
Philly
that
can
TV
drink.
setup look like?
Well,
Were you
they-
inside or outside?
Well, everyone that we went with went because they thought it was supposed to be outside, because apparently I guess Evil Genius has like this huge blow up TV, but they didn't do that. It was just inside. So it was
They
just
usually
like,
put that in the street.
yeah, that's what we like went there thinking that was going to happen, but they didn't. It was just like little TVs. But it was like it was fun. It was whatever. But I just could not get over some of these people just drinking.
It was a Friday night too, but it was rowdy.
Yeah, that's true. And once the game was over, I literally looked at this. It was this one particular table of girls and guys, and they were fucked up. And at the end of the game, I don't even think they know who won or lost. They were just chilling. They were having a great time, no judgment. But I was like, damn, y'all gonna feel like shit tomorrow.
Were you happy with the game? and how it
Yes,
went?
I was. It was fucking exhausting. I feel like it was like such a stressful game for no reason. But it's always good to.
Saquon ate down.
He did amazing.
He's a fast young man.
I feel so bad for the Giants though. Like they just lost their star player, and he comes to Philly and has 3 touchdowns in one game for his
That
first
was nuts.
game.
That was wild.
Yeah, but we can't be sad. It's for
Yeah.
us. So
Well, didn't you go to New York the next day? So aren't you a Giants fan?
unfortunately, my boyfriend and I did go to New York because a comedian I love on YouTube, his name's Curtis Connor. He's like not like niche, like he's big, but everyone I've told has no idea who he is. So if anyone's listening, love that. But he had a show in New York, so my boyfriend and I went there for the day, and it was really fun. I feel like we've talked about New York on this podcast before. It's not my favorite place in the world. It's just like
You went during Fashion Week, so that's
went during
insane.
Fashion Week, and we were in Soho, so we kept walking past like
Oh
all
my
the events and stuff. We like, I forget.
It just sounds like
No,
hell.
it was well the
Soho's
worst.
become the new Times Square. Like seriously.
yeah.
Where I was like, oh, like that doesn't sound that bad, but I guess.
I developed, or I was in a saw trap that I wanted to tell you guys about. So
Yes.
we went there in the morning. We like got breakfast, we got coffee, whatever, walking around. We had a little lunch, and then it was like this awkward time between the show was an early show, it was at 6:30. So we had eaten lunch, and it was like around 4:00, and we were like, fuck, like let's just grab food really, really quick before the show, and then we'll take the subway back because the show was in a different area. We were in Soho.
Okay, Subway girl.
Right? It was terrifying. I was so scared. But so we're walking around and we're like, oh, we'll just stumble into like the first place we see, like no pressure. Being in New York at 4:00 looking for food is the hardest fucking thing in the world because every single restaurant closes at 4 from 4 to 5 to like switch over from lunch to dinner. So we would find a place on Yelp. It would say it's open. We'd walk. It would be closed.
Damn.
Go to the next spot. Walk. Closed. We did that. I'm not even joking you, to 10 restaurants.
That is a saw trap.
10 fucking restaurants. And I was letting my boyfriend lead because he likes food, and I was leaving it to be him. And I was trying to be a good girlfriend. I was just shutting my mouth, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything. And then at the 10th restaurant, I was like, babe, we need to figure out a different plan because this isn't fucking working. And it was miserable. We ended up taking the train back, and by the time we got off the subway, we found a restaurant. But don't look for food in New York at 4 p.m. It was an actual salt trap.
Oh my.
I don't know how people live in that place.
Was the show good?
The show was so much fun. It was really cool to go to a show in New York too, because I've never been, but it was really good. And we got home, since it was early show, we got home early. It was great.
Good.
Yeah, but you guys did something really fun too. Where did you go for the listeners?
We did dinner and a sleepover
Oh, that sounds amazing.
at Ocean Casino, one of our favorite resorts we've talked about on the podcast before. And it was incredible.
I just know that sleep was peaceful.
It was honestly some great fucking sleep.
Casey. I'm still thinking about it, honestly. It was some of the best sleep I've gotten in quite some time. It was like they were pumping melatonin through the air because they said, "Oh, you're gonna be lights out."
And me and Brandon turned on the air like right before we went to bed.
I was so glad when you asked me that. Bailey was like, should we turn the air down? Which I've never heard Bailey say. We've talked about this before. Bailey is anemic. She hates when it's cold. She brought all of these jammies. But like, she was like, I just feel like it's a little stale in here. Like, and we could use some noise. I was like, I've been waiting for you to say that. I was like, great. Then she told me in the morning she turned it down more. I was so impressed.
I remember I was like, should we turn it down? You're like, down? It's not on. You're like, wait, did I hear that right? You're like, you kept like asking me. I'm like, yes, because I'm like, it's too stale in here for us to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I was asleep during this
I
conversation.
know.
That
Good
doesn't
night.
surprise me.
Yeah.
Lindsay was asleep the whole time except for dinner.
No, you guys. Remember when something's wrong with me? If any girlies have been suffering from like extreme fatigue, please slide into my DMs. I just really need someone to comfort me and validate how I feel. But I've been having the worst luck lately. Like, my life is actually so top ass bad that I think that I was bringing misery onto myself, which was actually manifesting into the real world. And I was trying to explain this to the girls. It was almost like, picture you're going to the grocery store and it's pouring rain and the only spot is right in the back and there's a spot in the front that's open but someone just got it. That was how my life was going. I was just seconds away from winning every single time. So before Oceans, I had a conversation that really changed me where I felt a lot better with a friend. And it set the tone for a great, like, honestly, weekend. And when we got to Ocean, I had just so much time to just relax. I assed out, took a really long nap, and it was so pleasant. And I woke up just ready to go to our delicious dinner at Ocean Steak. I will say this restaurant is a 10 out of 10. Like, if you're thinking of going,
So fucking good.
book the reservation. I decided that instead of getting my typical steak that I was going to get scallops. It came on a lovely corn puree. And I start eating my scallops and I realize that there's a stapler in my scallops, a literal rusted stapler that I was chewing out my mouth. I pull it out. I'm like, oh, that's nasty, but I'm not going to waste corn puree. Like, I will be eating this. And as you guys know, I'm out of a job. So money it's a little bit tight right now. When I tell you the waitress came over, she said, how's everything going? I said, I just want to let you know that there was a stapler in my food. I'm still finna eat this. You don't have to take it away from me. I don't need anything from you. Just know that there's a stapler in this. She comes back. She says, we appreciate your cooperation. Her manager comes over. He says, can I get you a dessert? I said no to dessert, which is crazy.
We fucked up.
They took off both of my glasses of wine, brought us a brand new plate of scallops. So I got to share with the Tabe. And they got my scallops off the menu. Like, the odds of me winning that heavy, like, my dinner was free at a steakhouse. Like, it was.
That's hospitality.
It really was.
The staff at Oceans, I will say, I've never been disappointed.
Yeah.
They are super kind.
That dinner was, I'm still thinking about that food. I got like the lemon sole Francois. And it was like, it was so good. And there was like jumbo lump crab meat on top and like a creamy lemony sauce with capers. Like, it was so divine.
Wow.
But
I got a filet.
yeah, but that restaurant was snackies. Like, there were so many attractive men. Like, I mean, I guess attractive. We're like,
Dinner and a show.
right?
Yep.
Like, Italian looking men.
We were at the Jersey Shore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had a push-up bra on too. And so we're just, that's important for the story a little bit. And so we're sitting there at the table. It's us three, and there's like a group of 4 behind us of men. They're just being like a little bit rowdy. I don't freaking know. And the one was like just being
No.
Lydia could tell it.
This
I'm
was
scared.
so strange. The way that we were seated, it was like a little triangle. So it was a table of 4, and it was Brandon, Lindsay, Bailey. And I'm looking at Bailey, and she's just smiling. And I'm like, bitch, like, what's
I was
wrong?
nervous
Like,
giggling though.
Yeah, I was looking at her like, what's going on over here? I turn my head back to where Brandon is sitting, and behind him is a man just googly eye at Bailey.
Yep.
And the interaction of like smiling lasted uncomfortably long. Like, typically you just smile, you're like, hi. No, they might as well have gone home with each other.
He wouldn't break. But like he was like turned around like this.
Was he cute?
He was, right?
Yeah, he winked at me when he was like smiling. He like winked, and that's why I was like, because I was like, what the fuck? But he looked at me before because I was like about to like bite into the bread with cream cheese, and like it was like the cream cheese was all over my lips, like it was nasty, and he was just locked in, and I was like, oh, this can't be good.
Oh my! Did anything come of it? Did he like come over after that?
No, I was actually really nervous he would.
And we did run into them at a later date when we were cracked out. I'll just say. We did see them in the casino because when we left, does anybody want to talk more about
Oh, yeah. Yes. So we decided, Bailey had seen, you saw it on TikTok, right?
Yeah, I saw it on another podcast I listened to. And so backstory. Well, remember, I don't know if y'all remember a few episodes ago, I said, let's go to the slots. And no one wants to go to the slots with me. But I was listening to another podcast, and this guy was talking about a specific slot game, and it's like a fishbowl game. And it's like, if you're around those damn slots, it's like the fish is like about to like crack the bowl. Like you just want the fish to get big and big. And I was like, guys, I'm like, let's just like walk past, right? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had walked past on the way
right.
to dinner. You were like, oh, there it is. And I was like, we'll revisit this after.
No, God put that game in front of us. There are thousands of casino games on that floor, and for some reason, we walked past the fishbowl game.
And there's only like what? There was like, it was like a pot of 4 or 5. Like really, there wasn't that many of them. Like it was like, I mean, I'm sure there were others like on other floors. But boy, we sat down because I was like, ooh, it's a big one. And we sat down, I don't know for how
Bailey
long.
put like $1 in it first, and we like all like kind of like understood the premise of the game. And I was like, wait a second, I have a 20. Let's just do it. We were having so much fun that then Lindsay got a 20. And then Bailey got a 20. Next thing you know, we spent $60.
Bailey
all
got
of it.
40.
Just
I was
in
gonna say,
case.
were you winning any of this?
We
No.
did.
Well, we got one.
Yeah.
I popped the green fish.
Yeah, he popped the green fish. Then we went to like a bonus game round, and we got like 8 free spins. We got what did we win? Like $26, $30.
Yeah, we made our money
Then we
back.
won
Oh, one of us made
$26, but we'd already spent 40 at that point, and we were like, "Well, we're not going to stop now.
Of course.
we have to keep going."
Oh, it was a rush because we were all like taking our turns hitting, but like we were so close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got the red one almost pop, and like we're like, all right, let's just leave it. But like that morning, I was like, should we just like go swing back to see if anyone won it? Because we set people up to win.
Yeah, like someone won big, definitely
Yeah.
after that. But what was crazier was that we were talking about what we wanted to watch as we went to sleep. And we were all saying, oh, like, I hope the TV has AirPlay so we can watch Harry Potter. The TV didn't have AirPlay, so we were like, all right, like, put on E. Like, we just guessed a random channel. I've never shot out of bed so quick. Harry Potter was on.
Shut
That
up.
was so weird. It was like an angel sign. I was like, oh my God. And it was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which we were just talking about the day before, like a specific part of that. So it was just crazy timing.
Wow,
it
that's
was-
like the universe.
It really was. It was the beginning of it too. Like as soon as it was like them running into the wall, and I was like, oh, I screamed and yelped. And it was like so nice to like go to bed too, because it's like it's so like a dark movie, like that one.
Yep.
Oh, and it was dark in there.
Oh, that sounds like such a nice, like fun, girly, like low pressure, high reward
Yeah.
event.
It was.
That's what it was. Like as soon as we checked in, we all just lay down. Like
It's
we
the
didn't
best.
like we didn't get up till dinner. After dinner,
It was dinner and a sleepover.
yeah.
This is your sign to book a staycation with your friends, even if it's
Yeah.
for a night. Like,
Yeah.
just go there,
At
take
Ocean
a nap.
Casino, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
We also should do that new hotel in Fishtown, even though it looks ridiculously.
There's a new hotel.
Yeah, it's an insane hotel in Fishtown now. The backyard is absolutely beautiful.
The
It looks
pool.
like the kayak in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should book a staycation. If they're listening, please let us get a room there.
Yeah, stay K.
Well, I walked by it yesterday and I gashed my head.
Is that where that happened?
Close to it. I literally was on the phone and I see this guy holding a flannel t-shirt up to his head, and he was like shouting things. Like he was just mad. I was like, okay, like this seems a little sketchy. So like, let me swerve. I was already committed to that sidewalk and I couldn't cross. So I was like, let me just swerve. I hit my head on a stop sign, on a do not turn left sign that's under a stop sign. And I'm only 5'5", so it was very low. And he gets up and he's like, that's what just happened to me. And I was like, oh my God, the way I was like in my head, I was like, the way I was avoiding that, because I thought you were, the way I was avoiding you.
Yeah.
And you were just trying to protect me.
Oh my God.
It's insane. That was how my weekend ended.
Damn. Does it hurt?
like a bitch.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, all good. Put some Neosporin on it today. She'll be good.
Good. Bottle wounds.
Yep.
From Fishtown.
Literally. I don't walk.
So in our past episode, Bailey and I were giving some tips for girlies during football season, how to get guys' attention because guys are only caring about football right now. And when I was listening to that episode back, it was kind of inspiring me because I feel like we all have some really good hot girl tips. And I think it would be really fun to share like how to be a hot girly. And to remind everyone, that's just like a mindset. It's not actually like a hot girly. It's just like you being in your best form. It's how to get guys' attention, how to feel your best going out, just little tips and tricks that we do that we've learned along the way of just like how to be a hot girly when you're single, when you're in a relationship, whatever. So does anyone want to kick it off?
I've been thinking about honestly something, Keith, that you said at the live show, which is you were like, when you were telling the story of how you met Jake, you were like, I was just like in a really good place with myself. And I feel like that is kind of like the ultimate hot girl tip is like just feeling at ease with like who you are and feeling comfortable in like your character. I feel like that like radiates then confidence, and confidence is like very attractive.
Yes. Confidence
kind
is
of,
so hot.
Kind of like a deep one, but I've literally been thinking about that since you said that, and I was like, damn, like she's right. Like you do, like once you like feel good, like people pick up on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you feel bad, so this is, I feel like something that I struggled with. I feel like body image, and I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, is you can look in the mirror and hate yourself. Like the smallest thing can piss you off, whether it's your bra not fitting or your pants being a little too tight, things like that. And that made me literally not want to go out. Like there was a point in time a few months ago where not a single pair of my pants fit, even my sweatpants. And I was so miserable. And instead of just going to the store and buying new pants, I would sit in misery and be like, I'm not going out. It's okay. We're all getting older. Go to the store, buy yourself some new pants, work on yourself if you want to. And then when you put on those pants in a few months, you're going to look at yourself and be like, damn, I can pack these up. I don't need them anymore. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like encouraging yourself to accept yourself and not pushing yourself to miss anything because you're uncomfortable with how you look or feel.
Yeah.
I
feel
love
like
that.
Going off of like self-care and stuff from a Capricorn, I think having like a routine, like a self-care routine, or at least for me, a morning routine where I know I'm getting everything done, and I guess just being more organized. Like, so if it's like a self-care routine, like you wash your hair on a certain day, just like getting that more confidence. Like when you start doing things weekly, you're going to start like loving that stuff, and like it's going to help build you up. Like for my morning routine, like I love going to the gym and like going home doing all that. But now because I'm at work again, I'm setting my mornings for myself and like my social media. So I'm doing everything for like bug or like social media purposes, like for me, so I don't get lost in like that with my corporate stuff.
Oh, I need to take notes from you. I've needed to do this for years.
Yeah, and I feel like I've liked doing that because I'm like, ooh, I'm getting it done. Like I'm working on myself in the morning. I'm working on my image, my brand. I really like that, and I feel like that's been like motivating me more. And I'm like, oh, I'm like doing something for myself, and I feel like I internally have been feeling a little bit more productive, and hopefully that's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok that was saying your morning routine makes it so that you're the first choice every morning. Like you choose yourself first every single morning. And that has like a ripple effect into your day because you're not doing it for anyone else. You're doing it for you, whatever your morning routine looks like.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I love my morning routine. It's definitely a Capricorn thing, but it is just like so good to have a good morning
It
routine.
is.
Do you guys have any tips for someone who can't get into it? Like I've tried so hard to create a morning routine, and I don't know if it's just because I'm lazy and I love to sleep. That was something I learned about myself. Like lazy Lindsay. It just is what it is. But I like envy the fact that you guys can wake up and say, oh, I'm going to go for a walk before work, or like, oh, I'm going to pack lunch. Like something that Bailey does is meal prep. And I'm like, that concept to me is crazy. I'm like, how do you even do that?
I just think about like saving time in the future. Like I like thinking ahead. Like what I'm doing now is going to help me in the future. Or I
Yeah.
guess like if I get it done now, I don't have to worry about it later type of thing. But that's also hard. Like a routine, like it's a habit. And what it takes 28 days to make a habit.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I just feel like if you start, it's gonna suck like 1-2 days, but like once you start doing it, you realize how beneficial it is. Or you're doing things, just like don't do chores in the morning if you don't want to do it. Like do things that you think you would like doing.
I'm gonna try that this week. I'll keep you posted.
Something my sister taught me too was like, so when you think about your morning routine, pick like whatever the number is for you. Maybe pick 5 things you want to do every morning, and they can be both big and small. It can be I want to, write in my gratitude journal. I want to brush my teeth before I go downstairs. I want to do whatever it is, whatever your number is. Say it's 5 things. If on the second day you wake up a little late and you only have time to do 3, it's a human nature, like it's your natural inclination to be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just do it all tomorrow. Still only do 2 or still only do 1. Even if you wake up and you're short on time, or if you're traveling, or if something happened and you don't have time to do your full morning routine, just do one part of it. And that will help build that habit. And then the next time you already did 1, now you're maybe doing 2 or 3. Because my natural inclination is always just to be like, fuck, I don't have enough time. I'm going to put it all off till tomorrow. Yeah. And my sister's like, no, do at least one part of it.
Right.
Because it's training yourself to like do something hard.
Exactly.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
And then once you do it, it like feels, you're like, okay, I did it. Like it wasn't that hard to do that. Yeah. Something
I was thinking about when I was thinking of how to be a hot girlie, and I think we can all talk about it a little bit, is like the art of a good thirst trap. Because I don't think it's just posting a picture of yourself and like closing the app and hoping it works. I think there's like an art to a good thirst trap. There's a way to get a guy to DM you based on what you post. So I was just thinking about all the little things. Like I always think putting like a little saying or a little word, like giving somebody something to comment on, is a great way to make sure somebody DMs you. If you put up a hot picture, a guy may see it and be a little intimidated, so he might just throw you the flames reaction, which is just like a waste. But if you put like a little saying or just something that's like going to give somebody a reason to say something back, it could start conversation.
Yeah.
What are your guys' tips for like a really good thirst trap?
I always get like the most DMs when I'm like smiling. Really weird. I don't know why. I like the boys will be like, "You have such a great smile." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, smile."
I love that.
That like always like works for me.
I think too, if you have a really good picture, sometimes like you could always post it on a Saturday night, but sometimes posting it like the next morning or saving it for later in the week on a day where not everyone is posting hot pictures, like your hot thirst trap's gonna stand out because it's like a Tuesday or whatever.
I was gonna say that this is a girly confession. This is between us girlies. Full Usher. I have a folder on my phone where it's just mirror selfies, and I look good in every single one. And anytime that I'm like, I literally need attention, and it's not necessarily me posting for like a man's attention. I'm really toxic sometimes, so typically there's a man where I'm like, you have to see this, or like one of your friends needs to send this to you.
Absolutely.
That's typically where my mindset lies. But there are some people who just want the broad thirst trap. So, flick yourself up when you're feeling frisky, and then take Casey's advice and post it on a day where, Instagram may be a little low. Yeah. Because even if the likes are low, the views are typically not. Like, people are on their phones. Just like create a little collection.
That's a good idea.
I'm partial to the gym selfie just because I'm always damn there. But I feel like you can't go wrong with a cute gym fit. Ooh, almost said flick, like fit and pick. But anyways, you can't go wrong with a flick at the gym. A, it just shows you a little active. B, if you have a cute gym shark or whatever little set on, that's cute. It's crazy because I feel like when I first started posting those, like those were my like ultimate thirst traps, because I feel like, ooh, like a sports bra and like shorts. Oh my God. But now I feel like I post them so much, I don't even think of them as thirst traps. I'm like, okay, it's just like me at the gym. I think it's just a regular selfie. But I'm trying to think of any other. Yeah, I think, like you said, Casey, if you're talking to a guy and there's anything, don't do it so obvious. Like if you said I like a yellow flower, don't go take a picture of a yellow flower like that. Like don't be so damn obvious. But like do something like little like that he would notice, but also like be like, it's kind of broad too, like all my other hoes would notice.
Also,
because they notice.
Sometimes your thirst traps can come in a form of not you.
Yeah.
So something that's really interesting is if you know that the guy that you want to notice you, or girl that you want to notice you, is in, let's say, a certain area. Let's say they're at Xfinity and they're watching the game with their friends, and you are on your way to Xfinity. Maybe just snap a pic of the Wells Fargo Center and be like, I'm in the parking lot.
I feel like we're teaching people how to be crazy.
A little bit of it.
It works. works.
Or
Crazy
if,
works.
you know, you maybe were in a group and there's a guy in your group who you're interested in and they're like, oh my goodness, I've been dying for some nachos recently. You may or may not be at El Camino in front of nachos. And it's okay to post that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't put any text with it. Like you don't want to, again, you don't want to make it obvious, but just a little bit obvious enough to know that your thirst trap was for them.
Yeah.
Because when your thirst trap becomes for everybody, you're going to get DMs you don't want.
Exactly.
And that's going to become a vicious cycle, babes. They're never going to leave the DMs.
And the
That's so
biggest word in
true.
there is trap. Like, it's not even thirst, like, just trap them. Lay that trap like a Venus fly. Like, just get them. Like,
Yeah.
do whatever you have to do. Like, play the nachos. I would easily swipe off on that if a guy played, like, oh, when are we going there for a date? Super simple. You'll get you every time.
like, oh, looks good.
Yeah.
Love that. Where are you?
Bet you look good.
Do you want me to
eating
come
those.
over?
Yeah.
Do you want to get married?
Oh,
I'm in love.
that leads perfectly into another one of my tips. I was thinking, I think hot girls make the first move. I think you
Okay,
should be
Bumble.
comfortable, like, like exactly what you said, just such a casual DM. If you say anything to a straight man, they will think you're flirting with them. Like, you can say
Annoying,
anything. So you really don't have to sit there and like text your group chat and be like, guys, what should I say? I promise you could probably just let your fingers type random letters and send it, and they'll still be like, hey, what's up? What are you doing tonight? Like, just make the first move. Say something to a guy. They will think it's very hot that you did that.
You're so right.
So yeah, I think we should start having girls make the first move.
I slid into a guy's DM before. It was a DJ. And like I initiated it and he was like, I love that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not a fucking afraid. Like, what's the worst they could say? No.
They're also straight men.
Yeah.
They're not going to say no.
Yeah.
It is fun though. Take some charge.
Well, you guys, we should all go take thirst traps later.
And they really can be in any form. I mean, they, like, this didn't pick up the right one, but one time in my life, I posted something that I cooked, and someone like replied and was like, "Oh my gosh, like this looks amazing. Like you should cook for me." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "That wasn't meant for that," but you know, it could be your art or whatever it is. You know, they might want. Oh, like, it's kind of cringy, but.
Yeah. Kind of love it though. That's cute.
Yeah, you know, something that you did that you're like just like working out. Like I made this meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They might want you to do something with them too. So
I have a little trick. I guess it's more like just it's a random tip, more or less. I got from this TikToker, Christina Kirkman. I don't know if she has the wiener dogs.
Love
I
her
love her.
bad.
She's
I love
so
her.
crazy, but crazy in a good way. But I saw a TikTok of hers a long time ago, and she was like, "What are you girls doing leaving the house without body oil on?" She's like, "If your arms or legs showing, put it on." And honestly, I started doing that, and it's made such a difference. Like, A, just looking moisturized, but B, like we took pictures at our live show, and I put. Well, I gave a lot of body oil, but my shins are bright. Like, it just gives off such a sheen, and you also feel good. Honestly, I don't really recommend doing it in the summertime because the flies will attract. But it's just another little like way to feel hot and an extra step in your like skincare
It
regimen.
also
routine.
smells really good.
Yeah, So I like it.
That's another one that leads perfectly into one of mine because you did put like all of our friend group onto that trick. I do it now too with the body oil. But one of the things I was thinking of is like, I feel like highlighting like your collarbones if you're wearing a shirt that's like that kind of where your collarbones are showing. I feel like that's always something I notice on other girls. Oh my God, there's a fly. That's something I always notice on other girls is when she has like a beautiful neck or it's tan with like a little highlight. Just literally taking a little highlight on your collarbones makes the biggest difference.
And your shoulders too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually rub it on my titties also.
Let me.
Ooh, if I had any, I'd probably do that.
Lather that up with highlighter.
Does anyone have any weird ones? I have like a really random one.
Let's hear it.
It's for the single girlies. Well, if you're dating too. But when I first started sleeping over guys' houses, like when I would see someone, or even if I was just going out on a night and I was like, ooh, I want to like go home with someone or I had a vision, I would put a makeup wipe in a plastic baggie in my purse. And that way it'll dry out because it's like out of its packaging. But once you get to the guy's house, if you spend the night, you go to the bathroom and you just re-wet your makeup wipe.
That is really
and then it
smart.
just reactivates like the makeup remover and you can fix your makeup either that night or the next morning. Because I feel like that's always, at least for me, I'm someone who wears a lot of makeup. That was always the most awkward part. It's like waking up the next morning and being like, what do I look like? So put a makeup wipe in your purse and then you can fix your makeup the next morning.
That's good.
Period.
I feel like
Damn.
I'm trying to think if I have any tips, but like they're all just crazy. Like they're
That's
not,
okay too.
I was like a creature in the morning.
One of the crazy things about Grindr is you can put in a zip code and see who's around. This is really psycho. Not necessarily how to be a hot girly, but like how to be an in the know girly. So if you're like, I wonder if the guy I'm talking to is on Grindr, you can like put in the zip code and see who is there in that location. You might get hurt. But hot girlies can take pain. So that's a psycho tip.
Wow.
I feel like I'm losing the plot of this, but
if any other app had that, like if Instagram had
scary.
that,
Or maybe texting.
no, like it is not safe.
that's crazy.
God, I would love it if Instagram had it.
I think I would become obsessed with it. I remember when like Snapchat maps first came out, that was the hardest thing to not let myself get obsessed with. Because in college, I feel like everyone was obsessed with it. And I was like, if I go down this path, I don't know if I'll ever get out.
When they took away the activity tab on Instagram where you could see who was liking whose picture, that,
Oh my God.
remember that?
Now I do, yeah.
Yeah, bring it back. They brought everything else back. I mean, except for chronological orders. But I mean, I forgot what that even means.
I checked that the other day, I just checked to see when it's going to be back because it comes back in waves. I'm actually psychotic. Don't take any advice from me.
I was gonna say I don't want to like. My only thing is just like creating fake accounts just to look at other people's profiles. But if you are blocked, there is ways. If you just type in like InstagramViewer.com.
That's definitely a hot
Bailey
girl thing to do.
Witherspoon.
Whatever. They took the likes away on Twitter, so like I
Yeah, that's a crazy. Why are they
I'm
doing
telling
this to
you, I'm
us?
crazy.
And they're not making any of the necessary changes. Like all I want is for Instagram to make it so you can search who views your story. Like it should have a little search tab so you can just look for the person you want to see who views your story.
They definitely don't do that though because they want you to spend more time on the app.
Yeah,
So
very
then
true.
it's like,
They don't know how much I would be on there if I could just have a search bar. It would take longer. I promise you that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'd be on there for centuries. Did you look? Did you look? Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what would you do? Which is why I'm going to give you all of would you rather.
love it.
Would you rather every date you go on for the next year, every first date you go on for the next year, within the first 5 seconds of seeing them, you have to violently make out with them for 30 minutes. You might not know. He might not be what you expected. She might have a little odor. He might be gross. You have to do it for every date, first date that you go on for a year. Or you meet your soulmate. They are the most important person in your life, and you're going to get married to them. The problem is you will not kiss them until you get to that altar. Ever.
Oh my God.
So you have to wait. And you're dating for a while. Let's give it 2 years. Let's say you're with this person for 2 years. You will have no real physical interactions because you can't kiss them. Your first kiss will be on your wedding in front of everybody.
like what do you mean only kiss?
You will not kiss them, which would lead me to believe you don't do anything else with them. I mean, you could. Sounds
Bump
dry.
uglies.
But yeah, you could. You could.
but still not kissing.
But you won't
Yeah.
kiss them. And think of how intimate a kiss can be. And then think about doing it in front of all of your family and friends on your wedding day.
Oh my
Not even
God.
a peck on the cheek.
Nothing. Their lips will not touch yours, and yours will not touch theirs.
I love making out. So let's do it. First date, why not?
Yeah, I guess I'll do
30
that.
minutes is aggressive.
That's
long
so
time.
long. And like, you know, when it's just like, when you're making out with someone and you're like, okay, this like has to end. Like, even if it's good, you're just like, this has been enough time. I can't imagine that. And you look at the clock and it's only been 5 minutes. You're
Damn,
like, oh, fuck.
know. That's a whole like episode of a show.
Yeah, like you're making out with this person, and it's passionate.
Yeah. Well,
With
what if
every
the first date though could be a grand slam?
I have, and I'm not going to go on like millions and millions of first dates for a year, right?
That's true. If it's a recyclable, that's your way out.
Okay.
Oh, could I just
All right.
not go on dates for a year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna do that. I said let's do that.
Yeah, I'm answering this pretending that I'm single, and I still think I'd have to go the soulmate thing only because I genuinely cannot imagine, even if it was only one time, I cannot imagine just one singular time meeting someone and then immediately making out with them for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
wanna
there's no
try it.
pleasantries or greetings. You walk right in and it's go time. You're making out for 30 minutes.
Die.
What if they don't even want you? What if they're like, whoa, 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 shorty, you got to get out of here? What if you freak them out?
After the 30 minutes?
Before. Bailey, imagine I walk into your home and I don't say anything to you. I just grip you up and start making out with you. Wouldn't you be like, what the hell are you? Excuse me.
I mean, shoot. Well, I thought this was like a greed thing. Like the other person was in on it too.
No, this is just you.
Oh,
flip
that's
a
so
coin and hope
embarrassing.
for the best.
Uh-oh. I might have to do the other option.
I think I would.
I'm sticking to
I
my
would make
makeup.
out with the. I could never not kiss my soulmate for 2 years.
Yeah, that is a long fucking time.
And have you seen those embarrassing never been kissed? It's fine to have never been kissed, but at your wedding, never been kissed at your wedding. I'm not putting on that display.
I kind of even think the most in love, beautiful couple, when they kiss on their wedding, it's kind of awkward. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't really care to watch other people make out like that. Yeah, like,
Why do we do that?
I like,
What is that?
it's
do
so
we have to
weird.
make-
No, why do I have to kiss you when I say I do?
Yeah, like I don't want to watch that. I don't want. I believe you.
I'll do a good old fashioned
I get
handshake
it.
like it's supposed to be because this is a joint union.
I'm taking the handshake from the Parent Trap. There's no
Oh,
reason
that's
for me to
cute.
kiss you.
What's on everyone's FYP? Mine's Taylor and Travis.
Me too.
Back again.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's being down with the fits.
Yep, she is.
Yeah, I will say there was a time where I thought, God, I'm a little bit tired of the red lip, and then she
Yeah.
wins me over every time. Like I'm like, oh, she needs to try something else, and then she comes back out with the red lip, and I'm like, wow, she looks
The
stunning.
red lip and a bang. It's her combo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows what works.
Yeah. Y'all got anything crazy?
My FYP. So there's a show that's coming out. What's it called? It's
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yes. So I've been on that side of TikTok because it's very interesting. But I've also been on BYU TikTok, I guess, because of it. And I don't want to sound ignorant. I'm not sure. I know that there are a few different types of, I guess, Mormons. But for this particular, I think this is the Latter-day Saints, or the LDC or LDS. I saw something on TikTok about people soaking,
Oh, yes.
which I thought was like a joke, but it's very much so giving the would you rather. So for those who don't know, and I had to go on Reddit for this because no one just wanted to say what it was. It is genuinely what you think. It is when you have intercourse without movement. So it is genuinely you just sitting in that person, just soaking. So it's not considered sex. It's just kind of considered just being inside.
And apparently there's like sometimes like someone, a friend,
Yes.
like either is underneath the bed or like next to it, and they'll shake the bed so that technically like you're moving, but you're not the ones doing
I
it.
didn't know they had a.
Which I think is just really, it's strange to me because you should just do it. I would never want to have intercourse and then say, hey, Bales, can you come over and shake my mattress for me? Me and blah, blah, blah are going to do it tonight. Like that's a little, oh, there's a fly on your head.
Oh my God.
Just a little
I don't know. If one of you guys asked me, I kind of feel like I would do it.
Do I smell?
would.
What
It
the
smells
fuck?
your body oil.
Yeah, like I would have fun doing it.
I don't know. I've just been on that
Wait.
side of TikTok. A lot of
Have fun
things.
shaking that bed.
No, like only for you guys. Like if this was a different life and you guys text me and you're like, oh my God, Casey, the guy I really, really like is coming over tonight. Can you please come over and help? What am I going to do? Say no?
Yes,
Obviously,
you're
I'm
going to say
coming
no.
over. Nope.
You're going to say, you guys, that's really weird. Just do it.
I would do it if like I knew there was liquor involved, like for myself.
Well, they're not allowed
I
to
know
drink.
that's the thing. It's completely sober. Like there's no one's high. Like,
No, yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
I mean, I
Like-
understand that's a religion, but like,
It's just a weird take. Let me just stop. That's my
No, I know it.
FYP. It's
Yeah.
very much so Utah. You talk.
I want to go to Utah for them
call it.
sodas though.
Me too.
Yeah, the sodas.
Wait, what do you mean?
They have like the soda. They're because they don't drink alcohol, so they have a lot of like soda shops and like they have like soda like combinations. They're the ones who mix like coffee creamer with their Diet Coke. Like when the creamer with Dr Pepper came out, like
And a lime squeeze.
yeah.
Or something.
I got that from Sonic. Bust down.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a
And
Dr.
it's just a splash.
Yeah, Dr Pepper, splash of cream and lime, like amazing.
Did you order that off the menu at Sonic, or did you like custom? Like, did you ask?
I ordered off the menu. They had like a special at the time, but you
wow.
can have like there's multiple like drink places. Damn fly. There's multiple drink places like that in Utah. I think there's one called Swig, and I've always wanted. Yeah, I've always wanted to
Oh
go
wait,
to.
I've seen
Yeah,
that.
you've definitely seen them. Like, and I feel like
Oh, I didn't know that's what
Yeah.
that was. I thought it was like I don't even know what I thought it was, but I've seen that. Oh
and
my
it's
God.
big out there because they like don't. But that's also like the biggest thing.
Okay, I have a little bit FYP, a little bit of an unsolicited rec. But have you guys heard of DBS or been on DBS TikTok?
No.
Okay, Bailey, I feel like you're gonna love this. So it is this thing this girl started, and it's DBS, but it means dense bean salad.
Oh, okay.
And it is the most unbelievable thing I have ever eaten in my life. My boyfriend and I have eaten it every day for lunch for a month straight now. Look it up on TikTok. There's a ton of recipes, but it's literally just a dense bean salad with like a kind of dressing. So it's a bunch of different kinds of beans, like chickpeas, black beans, whatever kind of beans you want. And then you can customize anything you want. So you can customize.
You need this. You're going to go to the bathroom.
You can customize any vegetables you want, any protein you want. So me and my boyfriend have done a few different ones. We did like a Mediterranean one with like a cucumber and like Mediterranean-ish vegetables. This week we just did basic like roasted peppers, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, a bunch of different vegetables, chicken, and you make it on like Sunday. You make a huge thing of it and it sits perfectly all week. It gets better as the week goes on because you put like a dressing over it. It's almost like a pasta salad, but it's so healthy and clean and delicious and filling. And I fucking love it.
Wow.
So look up dense bean salad and make one for yourself and you will thank me. I promise.
That's like
you,
that,
Kate.
that 12 bean soup. You remember that craze?
Oh, yeah.
I kept telling Brandon when we lived at our old address, I was about to say the name. I was like, I want to make this soup so bad.
A kidney bean.
Yeah, me
A
too.
cannellini bean.
Yeah.
And Jake didn't put enough beans in it last week. And I literally was like, I love it, but could you just add more beans, preferably kidney beans? They're so good. And it's just filling. Like I eat it at work and I feel like I'm not like hungry and I don't feel, so that's my unsolicited rec / FYP for the week.
Wow, thanks,
I'm going to make
Kate.
it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it
I
too.
think I have an immunity necklace, and I think we'll all support this one in light of our live show. If someone has a very big event, don't stress them out before that big event. I feel like there were some people that were like texting and, you know, like asking questions, and this happens for like birthday dinners or parties. Like maybe ask someone else a question.
Or try to think of all your questions like the day before or that morning. Get it out of the way and then let them have their like hour before the event.
Or try Googling those questions before reaching out to someone.
Or just think critically.
Yeah.
Like maybe think about the fact that your question like is ridiculous. You know? Sorry.
Well, keep that part between us, girlies.
Wow. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.